we are going to read our first big book, guys. We're going to have to read it in two parts. One part today and one part tomorrow, so you'll have to wait for the end of this fantastic story till tomorrow night. So, the name of this book is called Burglar Bill, and it was your mommy's and Auntie Jenny's favorite. I'll show you why. There is Jenny's name in this book, and I think she must have been about 11 when she wrote her name in here. That's it. She moved up to secondary school at Parkside. So Nani's going to hear this story with us. Okay, this is Burglar Bill. Right. Burglar Bill lives by himself in a tall house full of stolen property. And every night he has stolen fish and chips and a cup of stolen tea. And then he swings a big stolen sack over his shoulder, and he goes off to work stealing things. So there's Burglar Bill at his table with his pussycat, eating his stolen fish and chips. Every morning, Burglar Bill comes home from work and he has stolen toast and marmalade and a cup of stolen coffee for breakfast. And then he goes upstairs and he sleeps all day in his comfortable stolen bed. Look at that, guys. So he works all night and sleeps all day. One night, Burglar Bill is working in a little street behind the police station. When he comes to the first house, he climbs through the bathroom window and shines his torch around. That's a nice toothbrush, says Burglar Bill. I'll have that. And he puts it in his sack. And when he comes to the second house, he climbs through the kitchen window and shines his torch around. That's a nice tin of beans, says Burglar Bill. I'll have that. And when he comes to the third house, he climbs through the bedroom window and shines his torch around. That's a nice hat and coat and pair of trousers, socks and shoes, says Burglar Bill. I'll have them all. And he puts them in his sack. So there he is in his burglar mask with his burglar torch, climbing in all the house's windows. When he comes to the 16th house, he stops, and on the front steps is a big brown box with little holes in it. Well, that's a nice big brown box with little holes in it, says Burglar Bill. I'll have that. And in the distance, the town hall strikes 5. Time to stop work, says Burglar Bill. And he swings his sack over his shoulder and he picks up the brown box and goes home to have breakfast. And that's the brown box with holes in it, guys. After breakfast, Burglar Bill plays with his cat by the fire. And suddenly he hears a noise. Sounds like a police car, says Burglar Bill. But the noise is coming from the big brown box and it's getting louder. It sounds like 2 police cars, says Burglar Bill. And he creeps up to the box and he raises the lid with his fishbowl and he says, blow me down. That ain't no police car. It's a... So there he is with his fishing pole. Opening the box. What's in the box? It's a baby. It's a baby in the box. Oh no! Burglar Bill puts the baby on the table. "What are you doing in that box, baby?" he says. But the baby only keeps crying. "All alone," says Burglar Bill, and he pats the little baby's hand. "A little orphan?" But the baby just keeps crying. And then Burglar Bill says, "I know what you want." He gives the baby an apple. But the baby still cries. He gives the baby a slice of toast and marmalade. But the baby still cries. He gives the baby a plate of beans and a cup of tea. And the baby eats the beans and throws the cup of tea on the floor and starts to laugh. "That's better," says Burglar Bill. "I likes a few beans myself. Look at that baby eating beans. Oh my gosh." So Burglar Bill bounces the baby on his knee. "So you can talk," he says. "Say, Burglar Bill." "Buglable," says the baby. Says, "Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers," says Burglar Bill. "Buglable," says the baby. Suddenly Burglar Bill feels his knee getting wet, and he smells a smell. "Pooh," he says. "I know what you want." "Pooh," says the baby. Burglar Bill changes the baby's nappy, and he doesn't have another one, so he uses an old bath towel instead. Say, "Who's a jolly good fellow for changing my nappy?" says Burglar Bill. So there's the big, look at how big his nappy is, guys. Burglar Bill plays with the baby and shows it around the house. He feeds it, he changes his nappy again, washes its clothes, and hangs them on a line in the kitchen. Oh, that sounds like a nice day, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. And when night comes, he takes the baby for a walk in the park. He puts the baby in his wheelbarrow and says, "Run for it," he says. "Bill, you say run for it when you see anybody." "Run for it," says the baby. There they are in the park in the night. At 12 o'clock, Burglar Bill comes home and he puts the baby to bed and he goes to bed himself. And soon he is snoring away and dreaming of his childhood days. And suddenly he wakes up. There's a noise downstairs, and it's a noise Burglar Bill has heard before. It's the noise of someone coming in the window and climbing in. "Blow me down," says Burglar Bill. "I'm being burgled." And that's where we're going to stop the story. There he is, listening. Who's going to be in his house? We're going to have to wait to see tomorrow night what happens to Burglar Bill. I love you. Night, guys.